प्यायन्तु ममाङ्गानि वाक्प्राणश्चक्षुश्रोत्रमथो बलमेन्द्रियाणि च सर्वाणि सर्वं ब्रह्मोपनिषदम् माहं ब्रह्म निराकुर्याम् मा ब्रह्म निराकरोत् अनिराकरणमस्तु अनिराकरणं मेस्तु तदात्मनि निरतेय उपनिषत्सु धर्मास्ते मयि सन्तु ते मयि सन्तु। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। Om. May all my limbs attain strength. May the body, mind, all the sensory and motor organs become strong and efficient. All is verily the one without second, ever blissful, ever perfect, existence itself. Let me never deny this truth of existence, all pervading. May the truth never reject me either. The realization of this truth depends on acquisition of certain qualities. May those qualities come to me. Om. Peace, peace, peace. Let us feel our shapes, which anyway are subject to change. They have dissolved. Like the ice cubes of different sizes and shapes. When kept in warm room, dissolve into one. So let us feel the intrinsic oneness of all of us, of the whole existence. This is beyond time and space. beyond all desires. And thus is abode of supreme bliss. I am that. Om. Peace, peace, peace. So friends, let us begin this 46th class of this Upanishad with our regular prayers. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. May we be protected together. May we be nourished together. May we attain strength together. May our study make us illumined. May there be no dislike between us. Om. Peace, peace, peace. So last time we were studying this verse number 9th here, that is the cause of all causes and controller of all controllers. There is no boss of that supreme reality. It is the controller of all. So it is said here that natasya kaschit patirasti loke nacha ishita naivacha tasya lingam. This is not on the screen. I won't be, because this we did in our last class. So I did not put it in today's discussion. But just to connect, that it is that is the cause and is controller of all the means that are employed. So this is the transcendental and immanental being. It is not the cause like from one another thing comes out as a matter of transformation. It is not like from milk you get butter. You get butter from milk, so it is a transformation of milk in the butter. So the milk doesn't remain anymore, milk gets converted into butter. But here this reality is the cause, but without any transformation in itself. It is just matter of expression. It is that its own nature, as it were, like this Upanishad had mentioned earlier, Devasyeshva Svabhavo. This is its own natural effulgence without making any effort. We saw the examples that flower, a fragrant flower, doesn't consciously make a decision. Okay, let me spread the fragrance, or let me withhold the fragrance, or I will give fragrance only to Vishwanath and not to Mani Krishna. Not like that. It does not, it is its nature to spontaneously express. So similarly, this divine one without second being, without compromising that oneness in the least, appears as many. And all this many, therefore, is intricately connected with that one. It is cause only in a transcendental sense, not really that you can draw like cause and effect. Means the cause gets transformed into effect. There is no transformation here. The cause, it remains intact without anything. In Vedanta they give another very nice example. It is like there is a rope, but when it is dark and you are walking, then you think that, well, that's a snake. Now, did the rope transform itself into the snake? No, nothing. The rope, while remaining rope, it created an illusory snake. So similarly, this world is an expression, a creation of that Lord who just remains unchanged. And when some light comes and you see that it's not snake and rope, did this snake or run away somewhere? No, it never was as such. But the rope, it has this nature because of its that length and then crooked appearance. It looks like a snake if there is no sufficient light there. So the rope by its very nature appears like snake. There is no creation of snake from the rope. So this idea is further described to show that what we need to do to actually hold on to this reality. In this world we seek happiness, we seek peace, we seek so many things, and it can be easily seen that none of that can be purchased by money. By money you can buy some food and such things, and after all you can buy the food for $1 or $100, depending on where you go and get it and what kind of food. But when you are hungry, the taste is the same. And when you are not hungry, again the taste is the same. So it doesn't make much of a cut there, that it is. So the money doesn't buy much that what we call bliss or happiness or peace, nothing of that sort. So how do we get it? By getting connected with that source of bliss, of which We all are just emanations. And so that is the meaning of devotion, that to be ready to shed our identity as a particular body, a particular small piece of this existence, but instead get identified with that reality. That is what Sri Ramakrishna used to say, that those who are not devotees, they associate themselves with my dad is this man, my mom is this woman, these are my siblings, these are my friends, and those rascals are my foes, and all that. Now that becomes our identity. I am educated at this school, and then I have this job. They become our identifications. But as a devotee, you push aside these identities except in a given reference. In a given reference, you have to tell that identity. It is like they tell the joke. Today I also said that somebody from that doctor's office had called me to verify that, okay, your name, this, and can you tell the date of birth? And since she asked date of birth, I told the date of birth. And then she asked, well, which year? And I said, every year. So it is, it is every, and then she laughed and laughed. I said, well, but I want which particular day and which particular year you were born. So I said, okay, I was just telling you a joke since you were laughing, so I thought I would add something to that laughter. So it is in the context, yes, those things make sense. But when somebody wants to say, celebrate your birthday, then the year won't be looked into, whatever the year may be. The date is important. So it is in the given context, you have certain identities, but your true identity is God. I am from God. So Sri Ramakrishna would say that the secondary, these identities, they are held by common people. The devotees, they say, well, I am devotee of Mother Kali. She is my mother. I have taken the mantra of Mother Kali. So that is now becomes my identity. I am a devotee. I hold on to God. That is my father, that is my mother, that is my everything actually. Which is the truth. Even when you are using your temporary identities, your real identity is never lost. It is always there. It is in a given context, like when you are performing, say, the role of Othello and acting as Othello. Then for that stage show you are Othello. Then if you are acting next day as Hamlet, for that purpose of show you are Hamlet. But in both cases, suppose Vishwanath is playing that role, then Vishwanath's identity, I am Vishwanath, remains the same even while performing Othello. He knows in heart that he is actually Vishwanath. Even while Hamlet, he has no doubt, like Hamlet, although he is showing all the confusion of Hamlet, whether to live or not to live and all that. It is he has no confusion as to what dialogues he has to say at what time. And yet he knows he is Vishwanath, he is not any of those. So, similarly, in a given context, you may say, I am so and so, but our real identity is God. I am connected to God. Tvameva mata cha pita tvameva, tvameva bandhuscha sakha tvameva, tvameva vidya dravinam tvameva, tvameva sarvam mama deva deva. That thou art my mother, thou art my father. Thou art my sibling, thou art my friend. Thou art my wealth, my learning, and thou art my everything. So that should become our identity. That is the truth. That becoming, that means we are just acknowledging the truth. I am divine. And this, what it does is it slowly transforms this assertion, constantly making this assertion is the way to do it. It takes time because the disease has become chronic. So the treatment will need to be done for a long time. For many these problems, you do not just take pill for a day and then forget about it and you become well. You have to keep on taking medication, maybe lifelong, for at least for a long time. So similarly, this is something that we have to keep on reminding, and gradually the sense of devotion helps us to go that to feel this. Now it gives this example. Many examples are given just to bring us that there is nothing but God. God alone is. And then what this universe is? This is a common understanding for all of us, that God is somewhere, sitting somewhere in the heaven, and then from there He has ordered or somehow managed to create this universe. It is therefore, since this is a common understanding, you have the stories of how God created all this. Now if you read those stories, you easily understand that there is no creation as such. It is, if you read the Genesis in Bible, it is very funny but very true how that one just out of itself just first made time, day and night. So see how that description is there. It is, and in all religions you will find, because the ordinary people need all these to see that actually there is no creation as such. So, but we take those stories to be very literal. Although we can see the self-contradictions in that but the children have to be taught through stories, and spiritually we are no better than little babies. It is so we have to be told hundreds of stories. So these stories are there just for that, and there is actually that alone appears like this. So यस तंतु नाभ इव तंतु भी प्रधान जय स्वभावतः देव एक स्वभावृणोति स्वमावृणोति सनो दधातु ब्रह्माप्ययम्. May the Supreme Being, who spontaneously covers himself with the products of nature. Nature here does not mean that it is products of nature, means you go to Whole Foods or some such thing. It is means out of one's own being, that's it. It is just manifestation of one's own being. So it is just as a spider does, with the threads drawn from its own navel, and let that being grant us absorption in Brahman. Let us be absorbed in it, and let us feel that as the reality. I am that. It is that absorption is that focus of sadhana, spiritual practice. Let this false identity go away, and may the true identity appear. You see, the spider is so tiny, almost not visible, and the web is so big. Now, where from the web came? It is the spider itself has expanded, that's it. The spider is that web has come out of the spider. There is no other cause for it. It is, and so now we are not able to see the spider because the web is so big compared to the spider. It is sometimes it is so big you don't really. They make huge webs to catch, and they are hiding those spiders. When something gets caught, then they rush to grab that unfortunate thing. So it is similarly, you see the other picture, algae covering the lake, the pond is all covered by it. You don't see the pond. It is I was so deceived once, I thought that it is a green patch there. It was just the water was just full, just at the ground level, and then I was walking on a just in a track there, and then I thought that this is just a nice green patch. Fortunately, I recognized just before stepping on it, that it is. So, now it has covered the pond. But how this algae came? It came from that water itself. And that from that water it came and covered the water. So, this example Sri Ramakrishna has given. That is how this manifestation, this universe does not let us see the God who appears to be hidden in this. There is no really hiding, but it appears to be like that. It is there, the sages see it, but and sages therefore do not care about it, that it is after all like when you see movie, you know that there is this screen on which it is appearing, that's all. Therefore when you see fire in the that on the screen, you do not call 911 to get fire service, it is, if you see the fire in the theater, you will do that, but if in the movie you see fire raging, you don't worry about it. It is because it is just appearance on the screen. So here also one should try to see that. That is the connection with God, you see. So, that is, this is a very important idea. Eko devah sarvabhuteshu gudha sarvavyapi sarvabhutantaratma karmadhyakshah sarvabhutadhivasah sakshi cheta kevalo nirgunascha, that this is God, who is one only, is hidden in all beings. He is all pervading and is the inner self of all creatures. He presides over all actions and all beings reside in him. He is the witness and he is the pure consciousness free from the three gunas of nature. So, now of course you don't need to be told that the word he and so forth, not like a gender, not a particular man. It is just the poverty of our language. So it is the sages are trying to do their best that they one only. That is, that goes as the description of God alone. Everything else is one and many. It is, you cannot say it is one. For a count, yes, suppose you are buying oranges, you can say that I bought 20 oranges and I ate one. So, but every orange has multiple parts. There is this skin, then there are the different sections in that. There are seeds, so many things are there. So it is many, although you can call it one, you can call it many also. Everything in this universe, you cannot call it just one, because there is the possibility always of it becoming many. There is many. The one is God. God is one without a second. That alone is. So it is. Now again our language has problem, so somebody when heard, like say our Charlie heard again and again, God is one without second. So he thought God must be very busy guy because has no second to spare, you see. So one without a second. So it is is just one. That is the real one, which say to specify capital one, write in bold, O-N-E, that is the God. Everything else is one whatever, so it is. So its oneness never goes away. It remains. And so we are devoted to be one. You see, we like oneness. We therefore want, let everything be combined together to make a one United Nations or United States. It is, we somehow want united, that united front, let us put up a united front against all injustice. It is, so we like to have that unity. There is a tremendous craze for unity, that it is somehow or other, this is for something that psychologists should investigate, why is there so much craze for oneness. Our joys also, as I had told many times here, somehow they spring up from oneness. That's something that you like to eat, a cookie, and a cookie here and you there, no happiness. When you and cookie become one, then that is how happy. So it is like that. Somehow we feel that one. That is why we say love is good. Hatred is bad, because in love you feel oneness with the beloved. So therefore love is good. Hatred, it makes many. It emphasizes on manyness, and therefore it is considered not good. Now this oneness, therefore, is, where is that oneness? And let us be devoted to that. Let us pray for that. Let us hold on to that. And this is how, let that become the focus, the fulcrum of our life, the God-centered life, as it were. That is where the difference of the sages and the ordinary people is. They live like us, but it is a God-centered life. That is the main thing. It is like a beautiful song by Mirabai says that, whatever I get to eat, some days there are the cakes and all such things, feast. Someday there is fast. Someday there is a feast, someday there is a fast. कोई दिन लड्डू, कोई दिन पेड़ा, कोई दिन फाकम फाका जी. So it is magan unme रहना जी, but you become merged in that Lord. You don't care about other things. Someday you may be traveling in a nice Rolls-Royce car. Someday you may be going on bicycle. Someday you may be walking. But that doesn't matter. You have to feel the presence of God. Magan unme rehna ji. That is the all the time. That it is means hold on to that, be merged in that. And that is when you see Sri Ramakrishna's life, that is something that comes out very strikingly. That the surroundings and everything, he would pay attention to some extent, but his center of being was God. That's it. That is the important thing. Other things are okay, this way or that way. As long as I can hold on to God, that's fine. So, the whole idea is to hold on to God. That is devotion. Every moment, therefore, whatever else is happening, the connection is with God. That example is there that he used to give, like the pain, throbbing pain in the tooth. If somebody, when you have toothache, have you ever experienced toothache, Girish? You have? Okay. So then the all attention all through is on tooth. You are working in your office, you are driving, you are talking to friends, and all that. You are eating, you are shopping. In and through every activity, that toothache is reminding, yes, I am here, I am here, I am here, I am here. So, similarly, and God is always continuously felt in everything. Its presence is never lost in the devotee's heart. So, This is how we have to change our that focus of life to God. That is the meaning of devotion. And when that happens, we will see our subconscious starts changing. You will see that it is even in the sleep, you will not go away from that awareness. You will keep on meditating, doing your mantra, even when you fall asleep. This is how the life changes. It is and this is a conscious effort that is needed here. By conscious effort, slowly, gradually things change. It is a very important point, friends. Sometimes I see some these write-ups by very learned people that it is the willpower doesn't matter. You end up doing it is whatever is your instinctive nature, you do that. The willpower doesn't help, so don't pay attention to it. I completely disagree with that. We have an instinctive nature that may at times overrule the willpower. That does happen. But as the willpower starts getting strengthened through these practices more and more, you see that that force of the instinctive life or all the subconscious desires, that force becomes less and less compared to the willpower. It is the willpower starts overtaking, and this is one can experience through a prolonged practice. It is may not happen in our lives just by doing it one day. Okay, today let me increase my willpower, and then in half an hour you have multiplied your willpower 100 times. It need not happen like that. But if you keep on doing it, keep on doing it. It is, as they say, even a huge rock by constant dropping of water, the water drops, that big rock breaks. It is said that that is how the Grand Canyon is formed, a huge mountain. But that river, what is that, Colorado or what? Yeah, it kept on hitting it. A small stream, and in 1,000 years or so, it made that broke the big rock, and thus now you have a Grand Canyon. So just by doing it once, it may not break, but keep on doing it, and thus a person undergoes tremendous change. So this is what is mentioned, that it is that to be connected with that divine being, that is important. This is and to intensify this devotion, this verse is mentioned, a very beautiful verse. Now these verses, that this one or the previous one, next one, you will see similar, very similar verses in another Upanishad, Kathopanishad, that eko vashi nishkriyanam bahunam ekam bijam bahudhaya karoti tamatmastham yenu pashyanti dhira Tesham sukham shashvatam netaresham. Those wise men, word men do not look at that men or women, whoever feel in their own hearts the presence of Him who is the one ruler of the inactive many and who makes the one seed manifold, to them belongs eternal happiness and to none else. Do we want happiness or not, Tommy? And do you want your happiness to go away or remain? Remain, exactly. That is why this happiness is promised here, that to them belongs eternal happiness. So eternal happiness becomes ours when we connect to the unending, ever-present source of happiness. And it is within us. That one is actually goading us all the time. That one is pulsating in everything, and that one is controlling everything. Eko Vashi, that word is very beautiful, that it is translated as ruler. It is true, it is ruler, but in a more intense sense, that as Sri Ramakrishna would say, that even a leaf on a tree, does not move without the wish of Lord. As that governance is so very pervasive. He has given many analogies that, the God can control everything, listen to everything. Even God can listen to the sound of the anklets on the feet of an ant. Can you imagine, an ant, a small ant, then the feet of that ant, how tiny, and the anklets put on that, and how much would be the sound that they would be making. But to show that even the minutest vibration in us is controlled by that, is known to that. Not that I have to pray very loudly. It is sometimes they put, here fortunately it is not that much in India. It is a big sound pollution that they put all these mantras and the devotional songs, bhajans and all on a big loudspeaker. And in a place there are many holy places. There are hundreds of temples in a small close cluster. And on the top, from every temple top, there are these big megaphones. They are playing devotional songs. And each is playing different devotional songs, everything is so you don't hear anything except a huge noise, you see. It is, and because otherwise God is far away in the heaven, how will that God be able to hear, you see? It is, no, even the slightest vibration in you is known to God. You may think sometimes that this is just a vibration in my mind. I didn't do anything bad, only the vibration came. Who is going to know that? Well, nobody else amongst the human beings may know, but God is sure to know. before it becomes known to you, God has known that. It is so clear. It is, therefore, it is in our mantra for before we start our worship ritual. There is a mantra that is recited. Om Tadvishnu Paramam Padam Sada Pashyanti Surayah Diviva Chakshuratatam Om Pavitra Pavitro Va Sarvavastham Gatopi Va Yasmaret Pundari Kaksham Sabhayabhyantarah Shuchihi. That when you see that the God's eye is spread all over the space, not only outer space but inner space, the space in your mind, all that is pervaded by God's very keen eye. So nothing gets hidden from that. So when you become aware that God is watching, then you become pure automatically. You don't want, that God to see that if you are doing something bad or thinking something not right, something that conscientiously you think is not right, and you may hide it from others. Can one hide it from God? No. It is deep in our genes. That is, God is, beyond that is God. That is, and pervaded in everything, in the minutest action that we take, is being seen very clearly by God. So, we have to be conscious of that. So, this is that it is such. When you see that, then you become eternally happy. That is, you are now connected with the controller. So, today, this afternoon, I had a lecture at the Central Falls High School. That teacher invites me at least once a year. It is very nice, the group of students. It is a science class actually, and I tell meditation there, but as a process of scientific investigation and experimentation to see what changes it brings to our life. So there one girl asked this question: can meditation remove anxiety? What, Tommy? Can meditation remove anxiety? Huh? You don't believe it can remove it completely? Yeah, and it can be actually removed completely. Yeah. If you take the meditation to that depth, then there is no purpose for anxiety. It is because you see that your happiness is not going to go anywhere. It is always with you. So you cease to be anxious of anything. It is through this, as the meditation deepens, even if you meditate at the a somewhat superficial level, the anxiety of that level goes away. Yeah. Because you see, well, what am I going to do? It is God who does everything. And God knows better than I know, isn't it? What? Do you have any doubt, or anybody has doubt about it? God knows better than I know or not? What, Millie? God knows better than you know, isn't it? Yeah, God knows better than we know, and everything is done by Him, so He is going to do things perfectly. So you don't be anxious at all. It is like one of our friends says that in the end everything will be all right. And if it is not all right, then it is not the end. So you don't have to, therefore, when you think like this, when it becomes natural to you, the anxiety goes away. Otherwise, anxiety never goes away. It keeps on building. As one becomes older and older, the anxiety keeps on building. It is very strange, but that is how a person gets older and builds more anxiety. Oh, what will it happen, and what will the oil resources will end up, and then what are we going to do, and then what will happen if suddenly instead of global warming we get global cooling. All anxieties, it is what will happen. It is never ending. So it is unending worries and anxieties fill our life. If we get connected with God, then they are gone. That is very important. So, similar next verse. Nityo nityanam chetanascetananam eko bahunam yo vidadhati kaman tat karanam sankhya yogadhigamyam jnatva devam muchyate sarvapashaihi. This verse is also similar to a verse in Kathopanishad. He is the eternal amongst eternals. That's a very, what I should say, somewhat confusing statement. That what is the eternal amongst eternals, and the intelligent amongst all that are intelligent. Though one, he grants the desires of the many. One is released from all fetters on realizing him, the cause of all, who is comprehensible through philosophy and religious disciplines. This is how our life gets transformed. This is a very enigmatic expression here. The eternal among the eternals. It is certain things appear to be eternal. In colloquial, we use that word, that eternal. Although it is only in a limited sense, that word is true, that it is, the earth is revolving around the sun eternally, but that is not really eternal. It was a few billion years ago, it was not like that. So, this is really eternal, always present. And we all think we are very intelligent. That is the intelligence in all intelligent people. That is the intelligent. Because of connection with that, we become intelligent. So, or conscious. This word intelligent means here the consciousness or awareness or life. We all, just as we feel ourselves to be living, where is the life in us? You can never show where the life in us is. It is coming by that very being that is alive, that is conscious. So all its products, all its expressions, all its emanations also become conscious because of that. And when you know this, then one gets released from all fetters. You are no longer bound by anything. You are free, ever free. So, it is, this is just a pictorial presentation that it doesn't change at all. But in this whole chaos that we see, everything is chaotic. If we look into our mind, all chaos. Now I want to do one thing, next moment something else. It is the monkey behavior of mind. One Sanskrit scholar is not satisfied, that poet, by saying the mind is like a monkey. That not ordinary monkey. If that monkey is given a big dose of alcohol, and then if a very jumpy ghost has possessed it, and then in that it got stung by a big scorpion, then how that monkey will jump about. Our mind is more akin to that monkey. So, all chaotic, and yet there is this center where there is no chaos. So, when we get connected to that, everything falls in place, otherwise not. And there is one more verse that I wanted to discuss today. We will just read, and then maybe next Friday we will discuss it. This is a very famous verse. Again, same verse appears exactly like this in Kathopanishad. न तत्र सूर्यो भाति न चंद्र तारकम नेमा विद्युतो भाति कुतोऽयमग्नि तमेव भान्तम् अनुभाति सर्वं तस्य भासा सर्वमिदं विभाति. The sun does not shine there, neither the moon nor the stars. Their being, there these lightnings shine not. How then this fire? Because he shines, everything shines after him. By his light all this shines. It is a very beautiful verse, and we shall contemplate on the meaning of this when we meet next Friday. Till then, you can repeat this verse, the meaning of it in your mind, and feel the tremendously penetrative impact of this verse on our heart. So we shall meditate for 30 seconds. If you have any questions after that, please feel free to ask. Yes, please. Okay, good. There are no questions. So let us conclude with the closing prayers. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu. You all are already aware about the upcoming spiritual retreat on December 7th, Saturday, and one has to register for that. Many of you must have already done so. And then this Sunday there is an important guest lecture by a very tremendously well-known Swami, Swami Sarvapriyananda. So many of you have already heard him here a few times or must have seen him on YouTube. He is known as YouTube Swami sometimes. Very charming presentations and a wonderful personality. So, and very deep understanding of the scriptures in a practical sense, I mean. So, please make sure that you attend this Sunday's lecture.